Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you can join us now in our live Facebook Live here. Welcome everyone. So jump in with us whenever you would like to go ahead and jump in. Just a quick video today. We're going to talk about the new work goals journal and the calendar planner. So you guys know, because you guys have been acting as my guinea pigs and I've been pulling you guys different questions, that for the past several months I've been testing out and a work journal and calendar planner. I want to have it go live before the 1st. So sometime this week, as long as all the programming, production, publishing goes well. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm at the tail end of like trying to insert instructions and doing the last programming on the file and then uploading it so it can be published. So hopefully all of that goes really well today and tomorrow, and I can get this live and out to you guys very soon. But I wanted to very quickly show some of the stuff to you and talk to you about things you might want to kind of maybe be preparing for or getting into if you're interested. So first of all, let's talk about what I'm doing first of all. So I originally had these combined into one big document, and it was kind of a work journal / calendar planner all in one. And what I was hearing, especially this last kind of go round of guinea pigs, is every single person was telling me that it just looked too overwhelming and too complicated and it was too much. So to combat that, because I'm listening to your feedback, I've actually split them into two completely different documents. So we have two different things coming out to you. We have one that is our work journal, okay, and this is everything I've printed for the work journal for myself for the next year. And then we also have the calendar planner, and this is January through March. So I wanted to have it all completely bound and perfect for you guys, but as you guys know, Amazon shipping is a bit of a mess. So of course that's kind of just, crazy right now. And I don't know when my binders are going to come in. So we'll, I'll show you guys updates when all of that comes. But I started to kind of do a little bit of print out to make sure, I have my prints set up correctly, and so I can start working on the instructions. So here we go. We have our work journal, which is one document, and the calendar binder, calendar planners. Now, both of these are going to be hopefully as customizable and personalizable, if that's a word, as I can possibly get them. So let's start with the work journal. Okay, so we start off with, let me see if I can show you there, kind of an annual goals by category. So I personally, and this goes along with my setting goals webinar, if you want to check that out, and I'll put the link in the notes in a little bit. But I would say that this goes along really well with that, because that setting goals webinar is completely my own personal take over the past 20 years of how I've kind of run my goals and what I've learned through my coaching practice and that sort of thing, things that can really help you set up your goals and kind of help you figure out where you're at and where you want to go, right? So one of the things I always do when I'm kind of get past the brainstorming stage of setting my goals is I try to kind of organize them into, instead of like a scribbled up mess all over a piece of paper, is kind of organize them into a situation so it's more easily visual and more easy for me to comprehend. And usually that ends up, I kind of categorize them. I kind of put them in different columns. So that's kind of just very simply what I've done for you here. Okay, so you can use this page, or I gave this out as a freebie last year. I'm going to do it again as a freebie in my newsletter. So by the way, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, go do it right now so you get this week's newsletter as soon as I write it. So this is kind of more of a visual diagram, kind of, again, you're organizing it by category still, but kind of just a little bit more visually fun. That's all. So yeah, you can, now last year I actually colored it in. Let me see if I can pull that off my wall. So this was last year's, okay, and basically it's the exact same thing. I just made it a different color in the middle, and then I kind of colored it in just to make it a little bit more, pretty on my wall. That's all. So these 2 pages, the calendar pages, since this is an annual page, it's going to be stuck in your calendar all year long. I actually recommend you use more of a cardstock on this, or laminate it if you want to. It's completely up to you. But more of a cardstock just to make it a little bit longer lasting. I also recommend that you maybe use a heavier weight of regular paper versus the super cheap copy paper that I buy in bulk off Amazon normally just to print out random stuff. So I have the the Amazon brand super cheap that I normally use, and I've been using that on my practice sheets, and it feels a little thin, to be honest. And if I'm printing front and back and then I start to write on it, you kind of get a little bit of bleed through. So I have ordered, again, hasn't shown up yet, but I have ordered a slightly heavier weight of paper. I think it's like a 32-pound weight versus the traditional 20-pound weight. And it's not cardstock, it's just a little bit nicer of a paper. So I will try to get you that link as well. But I do recommend go ahead and just order 1 pack of that, the 500 sheets, so you can have that and you can print everything out on the nice paper. That's all. And then hide it from your kids so they don't use it up, because that's what I'm going to have to do. Now, once you get past that, we have the business plan page, which is in this stack over here. Sorry. I've been trying to organize. Okay, maybe it's not. Okay, we have a business plan page, what I call my monthly business meeting with myself. It's basically a journaling page where I go through and kind of think over the past month, what went right, what didn't, that sort of thing. So you'll have those for every single month. You will also have your daily reflections. Now, I have 2 options in the journal for the daily reflections. So you can have, what I have been using up until this point is a full page daily reflection, basically a full journal page. So if you're super chatty, you love to journal, you have a lot to mentally talk about to yourself, you might want to use the 1-page sheet. The other option that I've done, which is new, is a weekly spread. Okay, so if journaling is maybe not your forte, if it's maybe a little bit uncomfortable for you, instead of printing 365 single pages, you may want to do the weekly spread, okay, which looks like this, Monday through the weekend. And it's the exact same, okay, it's just in columns. That's all. So you have a little bit less space to write here. But also I felt like that might be slightly less intimidating and perhaps use less paper as well. So you'll print off, 52 weeks worth of that weekly spread. And then I've created a list of journal prompts for you. So what in the world are you supposed to write about on this? That was the other thing. It was intimidating to people because they're like, what am I supposed to write about for an entire page? That seems like, that was scary to people. And then I realized, people apparently don't talk to themselves as much as I do. Maybe they're not as comfortable journaling as I have gotten. So we wanted to make it slightly less intimidating. So it starts off with kind of like a little prompt, okay, kind of where you put your topic for the day, whatever it is, your own thoughts, and then how you plan to apply it to yourself. So as much as I love just randomly open thought journaling, think of this as a little bit more of a directed journal. So this is, and we'll talk about kind of 2 ways to use it, kind of as a work journal and a goals journal, okay? So directed thoughts journal here. So you have your, kind of mentally processing section, the thoughts about it, and then at the bottom is your personal growth and moving forward. So what are you learning about this about yourself? How do you want to apply this to your life? And so on. Honestly, this is kind of the way I talk to my kids. It's like, so if we're going to, what does this mean? Okay, that's a really interesting intellectual thought, but if it never goes beyond, okay, that sounds interesting, then what do we do with that? So how do you apply it to your own life? Now, when the last couple pages in my journal, okay, right here, it's 7 pages of questions. If you guys look at this, 7 solid pages of questions and thoughts. And so if you're stuck that particular day and you don't know what to write about, you can go through and pick one of these questions. You'll notice some of these are pretty generic and can be used over and over and over. Like, what were your must-wins for, in the morning section, if you prefer to journal in the morning before before you leave, before you start your day, to kind of get your brain going. Okay, what are your must wins for the day? What are your things that you must complete, you must get done? Deadlines, whatever it might be, projects that you're kind of impending on, issues you're dealing with, whatever it might be. So, your must wins for your day. So that could be, your prompt would be must wins, and then you could talk about it and then kind of state your own action plan if you like. Or, what did you accomplish at work today? Let's celebrate your wins, celebrate your successes, what you had difficulty with, whatever. 7 questions that are all kind of brainstorm generators right here. So you can absolutely use it for this. Now, let's say for the week you've made a goal for yourself. Maybe your goal is to finish a major project like your work journal and your calendar pages. So you could talk about the difficulties you have, or kind of just vent or get stuff out. What's hindering you from being, your success of your plan? So you can use this however you want. That is my entire purpose, is to make this as customizable so you can personalize it to your own work-life situation. And it comes out to be, maybe if you use the full page spread, obviously 365 days in a year, it's 270 if you're only journaling Monday through Friday. So you're talking about 300 to 400 pages, okay, in a notebook. If you're using the weekly spread, it's going to come out to less than 100. I think about 75, maybe, depending on how many extra pages you do. I do have some extra pages available that you can use that are like just a straight open page. So if you feel like you just need to journal a lot that day, you need scribble paper, whatever, I've got this in there. You can print as many of these as you need. So you'll be able to print out and create it and design it exactly the way that you want. Okay, so that is the work journal. Now, the calendar system, the calendar planner, for those of us in the working while homeschooling world, staying organized and staying on top of everything going on in our lives seems to be the bane of our existence, regardless of what job you do, right? So I have just begun printing out, because I'm still waiting on my Amazon order for my pretty paper. So I printed out a couple of months just to test it, okay, because I'm still trying to write the instructions and make sure I make the instructions legible. That's kind of my goal at the moment. And I'm really not sure how good I'm doing on those instructions, but I'm trying. So basically, here's the month view, okay? So again, the calendar planner is going to be very, very customizable as well. So you've got the monthly front page, okay, like your monthly calendar. You've got little monthly task reminders, random notes space here. On the back, and this is new for anybody who's been trying to help me guinea pig this. This is a brand new page almost. On the back, I have a monthly meal plan, okay, that you can set up and plan out your monthly calendar for meals. I also have a cleaning and chores tracker. So this is brand new. Yay! Brand new, guys. So you can basically plan out chores by the day, then also chores by the week, but assign them to a day. So if you vacuum once a week, and you typically do that on Fridays, you write it in on Friday, okay? And then we have monthly chores. So there you go. Now here's the fun thing. When this is published, you guys, I'm going to turn this into an editable PDF, which means you'll be able to write into the PDF. That's kind of my next step of kind of doing the programming on it. So when this turns into an editable PDF, what I actually recommend is, before you print, put in everything you already know, right? Put in as much as you can so it's already done for you. So you could go to every single cleaning chores tracker for all 12 months and say, I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to vacuum. I typically do my major house cleaning every Friday or every Saturday morning. So I'm just going to go right in vacuuming, clean bathrooms and whatever every single Friday. So you can do that. You can go put it on your cleaning chores tracker. You can also put it on your daily page if you see this. So as you can see here, here's kind of like the traditional calendar stuff. And then over here to the right, I have today's task, okay, open section for you to mess with. I also have today's checklist reminders. So if there's something that you do every single Friday, go in your calendar and type it in for on every single Friday, and then print. That's going to save you so much writing in later. Okay. Now I've just been writing it in because I haven't been editing it. I haven't been putting the editable PDF and doing that level of production in my trials. But this will, when you purchase it, it will have the editableness. It's using me making up words here. Editableness, okay, on the actual document. So you will be able to go in and type your checklist reminders every Tuesday. So like we have payday in our house every other week. So every other Thursday, I have a running to do of balancing the checkbook, paying the bills, going through the finances, and so on. So I can go ahead and put those in my normal checklist reminders right here. Type them up kind of type them in every single Thursday before I go to print, and then it's kind of already done for me. Now, obviously, you do have the option if you just want to work completely on your computer, you don't want to print with an editable document, you can go in there and you can save this. Okay, so you can go and create yourself kind of an online journal and an online calendar program that's going to look it's just an editable PDF. You save it on your desktop, you open it every single day if you like. You can also have the printed version. I will tell you, based on articles I've read, there's something about our brain that writing things down, actually going from your fingertips to your brain, helps you mentally process things better. That it also helps your brain patterns form and kind of all the stuff that you read intellectually, if you want to geek out on that stuff. But writing it out, having a paper printer and a paper journal versus a computerized version actually is supposed to be better for brain processing, which I know is really weird in today's age, about having everything on the apps and stuff. So that is why I personally have gone back to a paper journal versus doing everything on Outlook and so on and so on. Now, I still keep my online family app for Cozy because that's easily shareable on everybody's phone and tablets and that sort of thing. But that's it. So in the past year and a half, I've gone back to a paper calendar. And I keep thinking about what are the things that I wish my calendar had. And no calendar program is perfect, but I always liked this section of this one and this of that one. And so I've tried to combine them all together. So beyond the monthly front page and the back of that, which is kind of like your personal life trackers, the cleaning, the meals, which are always the bane of my personal existence. Then you have a single page for every single day. It's a lot of space, guys, okay? So it starts off with gratitude and inspiration to start your day and your mind in the right track, whether that's a quote for the day, which, by the way, every single day has a little motivational quote in the top right corner. If you are doing a devotional, if you have a verse, if you have a thought for the day, kind of an inspiration, go get them this morning. That's what they're. Your goal focus for today. So just one thing from your original goals sheet, okay, that okay, today my goal is to crank these buddies out. So I'm going to write calendar and journal, get it done right here, okay? I also have your celebrate your small wins. Now in my kind of little posse group, we've always called this, instead of your to-dos, it was your to-dos. So when we would share our notes online, back when we used to do that, some people would, kind of put their to-do list so they could check it off. And when that just seemed like too much for everybody, it's like, all right, just celebrate your to-dos. So, ta-da, I got this done. So celebrate even the little bitty wins. I made my bed today. I actually got up on time. I got the laundry caught up. Yeah, whatever it is, put it in here. It's so important for us as women, especially, to celebrate ourselves, okay? It might seem like a small thing, but you still deserve to celebrate it. So put it in here. Whether you got the dishes cleaned up, you convinced a kid to do their chores on time, whatever. I don't care. It's for you to use. Again, we have the today's checklist reminders, and you get this for every single day. I do recommend that this is kind of for those regular to-dos that happen every single Thursday, for example, or that you just need to, you're trying to remind yourself to do on a weekly basis or a daily basis. Whether it's make sure you're picking up the kids or whatever it might be. You have an open task section right here, and then you have kind of a blank note section. So for those of us who are working in homeschooling, if you have not already purchased my Plan the Whole Year in Advance, if you're looking for a place to kind of do like a minimal tracking of homeschooling, I actually recommend you use this note section. So if you want to type in your kind of homeschool notes to yourself in this note section, that would be the perfect place for that. And then you have the traditional calendar, so you can block in your appointments, kind of all those kind of timed things you need to do. Now you're going to print this out for every single day, okay? I have done one on the front and back, okay? So it's about, instead of 30 pages, individual pages, it's what, 15 or 16 a month maybe. And then you also will be given things like the brainstorm blank page. There's project management pages if you want to organize your projects. I'm trying to add in now any kind of extra things that you guys might want in your calendar planners or your work journals. So if you have ideas, let me know, okay? Please, give me your ideas. There is kind of a discussion later in the Facebook group about what else you might want. Are there any other trackers besides the chores and the meals? And kind of an open page. I have kind of blank project pages. If you're working on big projects for your goals, you can print those out as well. So let me know what kind of trackers you want, guys, so I can get it in there before we go live. So those are coming up this week. Okay, so those will be live. So this week, as soon as I get the work journal done and it goes live, it's going to go on sale for this week only. So you want to keep an eye out for that. Okay, make sure you get that, because I'm going to do it super cheap for this week only. And so I'm just trying to get all of that finalized and get it programmable so you'll have it. Work journal right here is going to be ready for you. All right, so tips while you're waiting for it to go live. Okay, how do you want to bind this? Well, obviously you can combine it however you want. If you have 3-ring binders around your house, that's what I've been using for the past 5 or so months when I've been doing mine. Just basically 3-hole punch it and stick it in any random binder you can. You can go buy a really fancy, nice 3-ring binder. This is a traditional 8.5 by 11 size. I have not done other sizes. Maybe in the future I will shrink this and make it the smaller size, but I have not done that yet. That's just an extra level production I haven't gotten to at this point. So everything is going to be a traditional 8.5 by 11 size for now. So any 3-ring binder will work. And just shove it in, you're done. If you want to go bigger, if you want to go more fancy, I've been looking at those ring bound journals. It kind of acts like a notebook, but you kind of have the page, the holes punched on the side, and you can take pages in and out and kind of personalize it even further, dress it up, make it fancy, go crafty if you want. I think I'm going that route this year just to try it out and experiment. So you may want to go on Amazon and purchase an 8.5 notebook size, 8.5 by 11 letter size binder system of your choice. For the work journal, if you are doing the 2-page spread, like I'm doing this, I think a 1-inch, maybe a 1-inch binder would be sufficient, to be honest. Maybe 1.5 inches if you want more space. For the calendar planner, I am testing this. That's one of the reasons I wanted to kind of have everything done before I went live, is to figure out what size binder I need. And I think if you decide to print the whole year at once and put it all in a binder, I think a 2-inch binder, frankly, will work. That's my goal. That's what I've purchased for myself. I hope it's enough. And again, Amazon, Postal Service, it comes when it comes, right? So as soon as I actually get my systems in place, I'll do another live to kind of show you guys how it looks when it's all produced. I think that's actually 4 months worth. So that's about a 1/2 inch. So I'm hoping 2 inches will be sufficient. And again, you can leave this for me, since I work at home and I'm kind of always in one spot when I work right now. I plan to have this open on my desk and kind of just left here. But I have seen really good binder binder, 3-ring binders that looked really nice online, and I'll send you guys the link as well. It will go into the notes when you download this, by the way. I found one on Amazon earlier this week, and it's very, very heavy duty, so it's not a 3-ring binder that's going to fall apart, but it also looks nice on the outside, so it doesn't look like I'm using my kids' school my kids' school stuff. So if you have, if you're going to be kind of putting this in your bag and taking it from place to place, you won't be embarrassed to pull it out in front of your work clients or your professional contacts. That's kind of my personal goal, because I don't want to look like I'm stealing my kids' school supplies in order to do this. I want to look professional with mine as well. So I've been kind of investigating exactly what I want to use without spending $100 million bazillion on a binder, which is really easy to do, by the way. So those are kind of my tips in order to get you prepared. If you're interested and you plan to purchase this, maybe go ahead and go on Amazon, buy that 32-pound paper. Get yourself at least one ream, 500 sheets of like that 32-pound paper, the nice printable paper. If you're planning to print this out, maybe buy yourself some extra ink. Maybe, since you will be printing front and back, maybe kind of read up on your printer on how to set up the pages to make it go front and back. I'm doing mine very slowly, to be honest, to make sure I print it correctly. Make sure you decide what kind of binder system you want to use. It should be easily adaptable to most binder programs, with the 3-ring binder, the circle bound punch binder. If you guys have liked those, it should work with all of those. So I've purchased both, and I'm just waiting for them to get here so I can test them out and show you guys. So yes, if all goes well, and if you put in a good couple prayers that the programming goes easily and I can kind of get the files finalized very, very quickly, these should go live very, very soon and be available to purchase. So the work journal will be on sale this week, and the calendar maybe too, if I get very, very lucky. I'm a little nervous about that one still. So as soon as I get the work journal live, I'll send this out, and it will be on sale for this week only until the 1st, and then it will kind of go full price on the 2nd. Hopefully that helps you guys. Please let me know if you have any other questions. Put them in the comments. If you have any comments, I will try to answer whatever I can. And I hope you guys are doing well. I'll talk to you soon.